Hi y'all! Today is, of course, every day is going to be a little bit different, but today I wanted to pretend to direct a musical. This is kind of based off of an IB requirement for IB Theater Arts. Yeah, it's called The Director's Notebook, and I chose the musical Newsies, so I kind of want to walk you through it. If you don't know, Newsies was originally written in the 90s to pay tribute to the newsboys' strike of 1899. In 1899, hundreds of newsies all around New York flooded the Brooklyn Bridge to go on strike, stop work, and really to bring light to all of the child labor going around in the city. Many of the newsies in that time were orphans, and they were trying to support themselves by purchasing 100 newspapers for 65 cents. And then they would make a profit by selling a newspaper for a penny. So the average profit, if they even sold all of their newspapers, would just be 35 cents. The conflict of the musical is that William Randolph Hearst and Joseph Pulitzer raised prices because of the Spanish-American War, but they kept them there after the war. So the newsies had to pay 85 cents in real life for 100 newspapers, only making a 15-cent profit. And even in those times, that was not a livable salary per day. This provoked the newsies to strike against the Sun and the World, which were their newspapers respectively. In the end, Pulitzer and Hearst decided to compromise, and instead of decreasing prices back to what they were, they would buy back any unsold newspapers. This method was thought to increase media circulation while providing the newsies with a more fair and livable wage.
Tomorrow they'll see what we are, and sure as a star, we ain't come this far.
The musical is very, very similar to what happened in real life. The only major difference is that there is a female love interest, and the prices were moved from 50 cents for 100 papers to 65 cents. 60 to 60 cents per 100 papers. All of the competitors with the World, the newspaper that Pulitzer owned, raised their prices too. So the newsies were forced essentially to work for less money. Unless Jack, the leader of the Newsies in Newsies the musical, recognized the injustice and decided to go on strike with the help of Davy, who was a new newsie who had just started selling papers to financially support his family after his father had just been laid off. This is where the love interest comes in. Catherine, she was a reporter working for the New York Sun. Secret, she's the daughter of Joseph Pulitzer, decided to pick up the news story of the newsboys' strike, but Pulitzer ordered a ban on printing strike material. But in the end, Catherine and Jack end up printing the story and call all child laborers to go on strike for better wages and working conditions. This forced Pulitzer to come to a compromise with Jack, reducing the price of his paper slightly and willing to buy back papers that the newsies couldn't sell. Overall, it ended a Disney musical happily ever after. Newsies screened as a Disney movie musical in 1992, but it bombed at the box office. So, like Rocky Horror and many other cult classic films, it developed a niche fan base and was heavily requested by regional and children's theaters to perform and get the rights for. This prompted Disney's theatrical productions to stage Newsies and create Disney's Newsies the Musical. In September 2011, Newsies the Musical started testing out audience reviews and how it might fare on Broadway by showing it at Paper Mill Playhouse in New Jersey. Disney's Alan Menken wrote the score for both Newsies the original movie, Newsies the Musical, and created the additional song for Newsies the Broadway musical, which is kind of what I'm going to be focusing on. Newsies the Musical earned 8 Tony Award nominations and won Best Original Score, of course with Alan Menken. I mean, of course, the score is going to be gorgeous. And Best Choreography in 2012. In 2017, Disney picked up the story again and filmed Disney's Newsies, the Broadway musical, staged at the Pantages Theater in California. The added song was a ballad for the character Crutchy to sing, and it's called Letter from the Refuge. What I want to focus on is how the themes are strung throughout the musical and how that affects how the director should block it and how set design would be and all that fun stuff. Fun theater analysis. The most prominent themes in this Disney musical are forbidden love, along with brotherhood and loyalty. Love is strung throughout the entire musical, but mostly throughout Jack and Catherine's interactions because of economic and social status, along with stark differences in characterization, topped with the fact that Catherine is Joseph Pulitzer's daughter. Some examples where this forbidden love is exemplified is when Catherine and Jack first meet, that very first day. Jack first tries to pick up Catherine by saying, "Mornin', miss. Can I interest you in the latest news?" Catherine counters, "The paper isn't out yet." Jack coyly responds, "I'd be delighted to deliver it to you personally." Catherine pushes this off by retorting, "I've got a headline for you. Cheeky boy gets nothing for his troubles." This bit provides a bit of characterization for the both of them. It quickly juxtaposes Jack's forward nature with Catherine's witty quips. This characterization builds romantic tension between Jack and Catherine and leads to their next meeting at Metta's Theater. In Metta's Theater, Jack climbs into Catherine's private box. Catherine immediately tells him, "Go away, I'm working." Jack introduces himself and Catherine sputs back, "Is that what it says on your rap sheet?" acknowledging their very different upbringing, economic and social statuses. In this same scene, Jack sings a song with lyrics about starting to fall in love with Catherine. Specifically, "Love at first sight's for suckers. At least it used to be. I never planned on no one like you." Forbidden love is even strung throughout his song because the show Catherine is watching provides a counter melody with lyrics vocalizing her restraints and her drawbacks about falling in love with Jack. Some of these reservations expressed through song lyrics are, "Don't come a-knocking on my door. I should have known you stunk like yesterday's trash the night you stole my heart and $40 in cash. Turns out my beau is just some bum. Turns out love ain't blind, it's dumb." All of these lyrics foreshadow the peak of their romantic arc, which comes much later in the play. After a failed rally with Newsies from all over New York, Catherine goes up to the fire escape where Jack kind of lives and asks why Jack made a deal with Pulitzer to denounce the strike and disband the union for money. This action is loosely based off of Kid Blink, the strike leader in the Newsboys strike of 1899, and in the end, Kid Blink, kind of represented by Jack, and David Simmons, represented by Davy. David Simmons was the union's original president, but in the real story they were sellouts, which is not something you want to hear in a Disney musical. That's why it was adapted. In real life, they both received $400 from Pulitzer and Hearst to break up the strike. Back to the scene. Catherine ended up coming up with an idea for expanding the strike, forcing Pulitzer to acknowledge the fact that he has to compromise. In this excitement, Jack tries to slow down Catherine, asking, "What's this about? Am I kidding myself, or is there something?" Implying that there is confusion in their relationship. Before a romantic song, Catherine admits resolution, saying, "Of course there is. You snuck up on me, Jack Kelly. I never even saw it coming." And then that leads into the song. There are so many beautiful lyrics in this song, I just can't get over it. These lyrics are really sad though. Lyrics that show their love, even if it doesn't last, include Catherine admitting, "Love will do what it does, something to believe in for even a night. One night may be forever, but that's alright. And if you're gone tomorrow, what was ours still will be." That hits me every time, it's just so sad. And then Catherine and Jack kiss, which is like all lovey-dovey and cute. But Jack, surprisingly, is the one to pull away, saying if things were different, implying that there are some external pressures that forbid their love. For example, if Catherine weren't an heiress. However, their love succeeds because, as Catherine and Jack sing, "I have something to believe in, now that I know you believed in me." That is so cheesy and so Disney, but it's so cute. So they push away the opinions of Catherine's father and Jack's original plan to run away to Santa Fe, and instead they believe in each other and prioritize their love. The theme of loyalty and fraternity is also illustrated throughout Disney's Newsies, the Broadway musical, because when Crutchy, Jack's best friend, who is crippled, is taken away to the refuge, a vermin-filled, basically prison for orphans, Jack feels disappointed in himself for not being the hero and saving Crutchy. This disappointment in his infidelity is exemplified through the lyrics, "Crutchy's calling me, guys are fighting, bleeding, falling, thanks to good old Captain Jack. Captain Jack just wants to close his eyes and go." But in Crutchy's ballad, he emphasizes fraternity in the lyrics. "But there's one thing I need you to do. On the rooftop, you said that a family looks out for each other. So you tell all the fellows from me to protect one another. The end. Your friend. Your best friend. Your brother. Crutchy." That is also a very sad song, but sad songs lend themselves to exposing themes of a musical. Crutchy tried to encourage the brotherhood within the Newsies, but it only ended up making Jack feel worse about his actions of cowardice. Jack perpetuates his cowardice in an attempt to protect the other Newsies from getting locked up in the refuge, but Davy, Jack's co-president of the union, picks up Jack and suggests holding a rally where every Newsie gets a say and a vote. Jack is still despondent and reserved, but Davy provokes Jack, saying, "Tell me how quitting does Crutchy any good." Davy proves that if the Newsies stick together, they'll win because Pulitzer is already scared of them. So Jack meets with Pulitzer to invite him to the rally, of course, because he is so stuck up. But Pulitzer locked Jack in the cellar, providing him two options: denounce the strike and get bribed and get some money from Pulitzer, or get locked up in the refuge. In the background of this very, very tense scene, the audience hears Newsies from all over New York banding together to help Manhattan with the strike, singing in a military style, and that's how it says in the stage directions, Newsies need our help today. Tell them Brooklyn's on the way. Other lyrics include, just got word that our buddies is hurtin', facing total disaster for certain. That's our cue, boys, it's time to go slummin'. Hey Manhattan, the cavalry's coming. You know we got your back from way back. Manhattan's here, Flushing's here, Richmond's here, Woodside's here, so's the Bronx, Brooklyn's here. The lyrics in this song exemplified their band of brotherhood that these newsies share with each other, risking unemployment and their own health to help one another. So thinking about all these themes, it kind of got me thinking how I might want to stage this musical if I were to direct it. I was thinking, of course I've seen the musical because it's on Disney+. You should definitely watch it. Also, I haven't seen it yet, but I want to see the 1992 version of Newsies so I can get the fullest sense of Newsies. So, like the movie, I would like to have an urban industrial set because I think that the cool tones and that industrial... Hi, my camera just stopped recording and then I couldn't find where the video that I had just been recording for like 20 minutes had gone. So I just freaked out a little bit, but we can continue, it's fine. So yeah, I just remember I was saying how I wanted an urban set with cool tones, and I really liked that because, of course, the Newsboys strike of 1899 takes place in New York, along with where the setting is for the musical. They both happen in New York. And in this time, the Industrial Revolution would have just happened. Child labor was really kind of peaking, and I feel like the urban industrial pipe vibe really fits it well. And to be more specific, I think I would like to stage all of their homes, their fire escapes, because it specifically says in the script that Jack lives on a fire escape. But I think that to emphasize the brotherhood and fraternity, they should all be kind of stuck together. All of the fire escapes should be able to together like Lego pieces. That's not the sound that a Lego piece makes. They should all click together, and there we go. That's more acceptable. They should all be able to form one big set piece, and they should all be industrial vibe, steel, a little dirty, just to emphasize that in that time the FDA hadn't been a thing. New York was really gross and dirty at that time. I love New York now, but we can make the set pretty because of how industrial and that vibe going on that I really like. Yeah, all of the fire escapes could grid together because also it's proven that many newsies in that time did not have shelters because the orphanages had very strict rules that wouldn't allow them to go sell newspapers and make money. So they sacrificed a shelter. Also, there wasn't a huge capacity for regular orphanages, and many orphanages were just looking for a profit and government funding that they could pocket instead of give back to the kids, which is corruption at its finest. Yeah, the fire escapes being attached is a great subliminal way to sneak in that theme of brotherhood and being bonded together. But I think that they should also be able to separate because during Jack's song Santa Fe, when he's all questioning his infidelity, he should be able to break off from that brotherhood bond. I feel like such a genius coming up with this, but I'm sure other people have thought of this before. I just feel so smart, and I really like set design and directing, and honestly, that's a great backup for me. For For costumes, I would definitely love to keep that traditional 1900s vibe. However, I feel like that would be really mean to whoever would be acting. I just want it to be a little bit breathable and movable because Newsies is known as a dance-heavy show. So we don't want them to be sweating too intensely and die of heat strokes. So yeah, we might have to back off of that traditional theme. But for Catherine, I was definitely thinking about making her look like a more liberal suffragette type working girl costume, maybe with some minimalist accents that were worn by heiresses and, how do you say that word? Heiresses? Heiress plural, and fashionable wealthy women. And I think that Catherine should wear this type of costume because it's in the script that she distances herself from her dad and her upbringing and that inheritance and instead pursues a career in journalism. So this alone is an act of feminism in the early 1900s. However, I think that there should be hints that she comes from money as Joseph Pulitzer's daughter, even though she wants to make a difference fighting for what she believes in against greed and injustice. So I think that little bit of juxtaposition in her own costume could give the keen audience member a hint about what's going to come when the audience finds out, oh my gosh, Catherine is not just Catherine Plummer, she's Catherine Pulitzer. Plummer was a pen name. For the regular Newsie / Jack, I haven't figured that out yet, but I will. But I think because they're more of the people who are going to be dancing more,
7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I feel really mean putting them in traditional 1900s poor boy stuff, but like, it would look really good.
Darling, you send me, I know you.
So yeah, here is my mood board. Hopefully you can see it while I'm talking. Shown on the screen right now is a collage of how I picture the most significant aspects of Newsies. I put this together thoughtfully with the themes that I have mentioned earlier, along with a few other side themes. I included symbols of a newspaper and an eye fixated on money to depict the main conflict of the play, the price raised on newspapers, and Joseph Pulitzer's greed. I included the two top pictures of Catherine and Jack to illustrate their forbidden love and the growth in their relationship. The picture of Catherine in the middle represents her standing up for what she believes in. In that picture, she embodies determination to fight for what is right, even if it goes against her father's beliefs. The three pictures on the bottom exemplify the theme of brotherhood. The leftmost picture shows Jack Kelly leading the strike, and the rest of the Newsies trusting and following his lead, looking for a brighter tomorrow. The rightmost picture is when the Newsies from all over New York band together and strike against the newspaper price inflation, illustrating their camaraderie and fraternity. The middle picture at the bottom is a photograph of Newsies in 1899 sleeping together on the street. The boys had no shelter and had to cuddle for warmth. That picture exemplified the brotherhood that they shared in real life, really pushing the theme into the musical. I think I'm gonna have a part 2 to this video just because I don't think I can put it all in one video and I haven't completed the director's notebook yet. So when I do, you'll get part 2, which is really fun. I really enjoyed making this video and I hope you enjoyed watching it. So leave a like down below, subscribe if you want to see part 2, and possibly more videos like this. It took a long time to put all this together, but it was so much fun. I would love to do this again, but also the next musical would probably have to come out in summer because I really don't have time to do that during the school year unless it's an assignment. So yeah, comment any other musicals that you might want to see me analyze and fake stage. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this because I really enjoyed making this video. Bye y'all!